I might not gonna be able to be in that call, brother. I
No
might gonna
worries.
need to jump off of this one as well at some point.
No worries. No worries.
Yeah. Hey, Mart, how are you?
Feeling energetic.
Mm.
What makes you feel so energetic? How did you got there?
Um, well, last night there was the pet of one of my friends died last night, and the
Hmm.
right now we're in the how would you say it, the dealing with the loss part and such,
Hmm.
and it happened in a very beautiful way, as beautiful as it could have happened, with the least suffering. And from that and from that perspective, then once again looking towards the joy and excitement that I have for the coming week, it really pumps me up, especially as I have training later today. And at the end of this week, I'll have my first match of the season. So I'm looking forward to it.
What do you train, and what is the match?
Volleyball.
Ah, cool. Volleyball is my only one game I like playing with the balls, kind of. I'm not a player fancy for football or basketball.
Sure,
So
it's fun to do, but they're not my favorite. Basketball, football.
mm, mm, mm.
So I was already prepping myself for the training, and putting my body in a very good state, and mechanical as well to perform, as it will be my last training before the match. So I want to get the most out of it.
Mm. Yep, sounds wise. How are you, Eric?
Uh, Same. I feel I feel like there's so many patterns here that you're talking about the training and the match and stuff like this. I feel like I'm going into a pretty profound month of match now because I've been doing so much training.
Mm.
So
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
Eric, today I can see that you're thinking more than normally. You're thinking more than
I,
usual.
I'm actually really like just listening and observing and grateful that everything has just come to fruition from my mind into reality. So there's so many things that are happening that I'm in experiencing as my reality because they used to be in my mind only. And it's kind of cool. I mean, it's not kind of cool. It's really fucking cool.
Indeed.
Yeah, it's so uh yeah, the power of our decisions, it's profound. It's excites me.
Mart, you're thinking.
Yes, well, but that made me think about yesterday, and also something that happened to like maybe even to do with having a thoughtful, thorough conversation with someone, and you start talking to each other, like you have this realization moment of like, wait, we don't need to reinvent the wheel. We already have the wheel. Just do it again. Why not continue doing it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Maybe not in the exact same form, but you know, mostly it's good. And this was done to do with a certain way of approaching my passion in TTRPGs.
Mark, your reception is, I think,
Which
it's a
then
bit
brought forth a whole
breaking. I don't know if it's for me only or.
No, for me too.
But it led to a whole slew of new creativity, which is something I'm very excited about.
Tell us more.
I couldn't understand, Mart. Your reception is not so good. It's breaking.
I'll try something else.
Tennessee, how are you? Are you here?
I am. I'm just cooking.
What are you
So
making?
that's
Always busy. What do you do?
What are you making?
That's mom's life for you. Yeah, I picked her up early today because she fell and she has this massive bump on her head. And I'm just so I made her some food and then making myself some sweet potato fries. So
Nice.
that's about as much as I'm gonna get done today on that front. And I made also her food for tomorrow for school. So nearly done. So I think I heard more or less Mark said, but if he's ready to repeat, it'll be awesome to hear because I heard some of it, but which sound great, but I think it'd be nice to hear all of it.
Yes, I agree.
Well, it had to do with a certain device of telling a story that was very well received, and just refitting it so that we can do it again, but just with slightly different flavors. As looking back at it, it's something that both we, as the people that are at surface of providing the experience, had a very enjoying time, as well as those at the receiving end also had a very enjoying time whilst doing it. And the realization that this is something we like doing and people like participating in, why not redo it? As quite clearly, it might not be the perfect fit. It's something we enjoy a lot, so that makes it already better than a lot of other things.
Mhm.
And just the whole process of finding the path towards our collective goal. It's starting to take shape, and sometimes we take a whole different road than we intended in the first place. But that's the beautiful part of it.
Somehow I got reminded about Brazil project. How is that going? If anybody has any update? Alto Paraíso.
Pedro I asked Pedro to put an update on the group, so he did. I think he saw was only at about 5% of the goal so far. So I think, yeah. So, and he also said that because of the situation there, they're focusing on on the planting. I think at the moment that's what he said. So I don't know how that's gonna go. So
Is there a way to like show the progress of what's raised as we raise it?
if everybody sends via PayPal, he can show like where his PayPal is at, right? His PayPal account. So,
but if we send him Bitcoin, he can't show. So,
yeah. So I think, yeah, I don't know. I was trying to think on how could we influence a bit more maybe the group, because it's not very much. And I know like some of the groups, like you're already looking at other ways that other people that we need to help, and it's fantastic. But at the same time, I feel like there is the long-term ones, like those other guys need help as well. But some of the, with a little bit of money here for temporary, but some of them, like the ones in Iran, like temporary, they have help already, right? So so right now, I think like, is this the most urgent one? So can we, as a group, focus on this just to get, because it's not a whole lot that we have to do other than just get to $2,000. That is not a lot of money.
beautiful.
So and then I feel like if we just concentrate and we just achieve this one goal first, and then if we really want to help people, okay, let's help these people, and then next we concentrate into those people you want to focus on, and then we put all the group effort into that rather than splitting.
I think it's brilliant.
One goal at a time.
One goal at a time. I agree. I think it's focus goes. It will, if we all focus on the one thing, then we'll allow this to come through, and it will then also encourage those that then can give back and they receive, right? So I like it.
And I was thinking as well, like, I mean, for the people, maybe Ronald can help us more, like, since he's an accountant, but is there a thing about, companies when they do, say, charity work, they get some tax benefits and things like that. So a lot of people who are business owners in our group have business. How can we leverage that?
Yeah, that's a great question. We should ask Ronald in the group. I'm gonna ask him right
Mark, can you talk to your dad as well? Because I know like a lot of the companies do all these things for their employees, and then they do always include charity work, on it, because it helps them set off a lot of the costs, in tax breaks and stuff. So I was making look good. I feel like that we could potentially try to tap into that too. Oh, well, Eric is doing that. Tikit, I have a question. Where on the Earth, on this planet Earth, are you in? Which part of the planet are you in? Because I don't actually know where you're based.
Who? Eric?
You.
Me?
Yeah.
I am in the Lithuania at the moment.
You're in Lithuania? Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll never guess that.
And where are you?
My sister-in-law is Lithuanian.
What did you say?
My sister-in-law is Lithuanian.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So my nephews and nieces are half Brazilian, half Lithuanian, born in Ireland, England. So
right.
as you do.
And where are
I'm
you based?
in the lovely Germany.
Oh, in Germany.
Yeah,
That's
I live
cool.
just above Frankfurt. Yeah. Tomorrow we're driving to Amsterdam. I'm gonna meet with Yannis, who's in the group, and then next day I'm going to a mastermind with Rainlow, who's also in the group.
Mhm.
And on the way back, I'll meet Mel for dinner.
Cool.
And I'll drive back to Germany. So yeah, packing a lot of meetings in 1.5 days.
And Eric is coming to Amsterdam. I just got to know that.
The wrong week.
That is
I'll be there
next week,
tomorrow.
exactly.
Yeah, I'll be there tomorrow and Wednesday. Back after, make my way back afterwards after the event. So should be interesting. Global Woman Summit, something like that.
Okay.
So, but it was nice. I met Rain. She was just in one call, right? A couple of calls with us.
Yeah, she just came to one.
Yeah. So she called me last week, and then she said she was invited to be, I think, a speaker in the mastermind, and she said she could bring 1 or 2 people, and she wanted to invite me. That was very
Amazing.
sweet of her. So thanks
That
to the
is.
group. I'm very
Mm.
grateful, obviously. So, yeah. So did we reach Ronald?
I just dropped in the group, so
Okay.
him and Jin can answer those questions in the group as well, openly.
Cool. Do you know what I was thinking about in the group? When we're like, say for example, like like Mart was talking there and just telling his story, and I was just reflecting on things, and in like in another group that I have, what we do so nobody interrupts each other thought process, and helps on just for the person. We know the person concluded their thought completely. We use the word sha. So you finish what you're saying, and when you finish, you say sha. So then it has a meaning in Irish, so don't ask me, but it has a meaning. And it just means that we know until then we don't interrupt the person, So I just thought maybe we could do something like this here to avoid miscommunication. Whenever anybody's having a full thought process, of course.
Mark, do you want to share any more? We'd love to hear more. I think it's a great idea.
Mm.
What do you want to know?
Well, it sounds like you may have had some more insight that you wanted to share.
Insights. I wouldn't say that per se. I would say a lot of what I have been doing is a lot of applying of wisdom, and a lot of also observing how my surroundings react to it, and how that reflects back to me. And most of all, do a lot of listening. Even though for certain things, I now see that sometimes being very steadfast and providing the vision or the guidance of a where to go can also be very beneficial. And some people might be very resistant against that, because change is scary sometimes. But that through that resistance and then further collaboration, a lot of beautiful things come forth. And it has also grown my ability to let certain things go and be solved by other people that I would previously have done myself. And some other things that just solve themselves without any effort. Just it happened and it worked out on its own, which is very, very profound experience to have. It's something I'm very grateful for. Welcome, Peter.
Hey, how are we doing? Oh, hello, Mr. Eric.
Hey, how are you, brother?
How do you think I am?
It sounds excited.
Oh, I'm outstanding. I'm outstanding, brother. I'm outstanding. I really am.
I love it.
Hello, everybody on the group.
Hello. Hello, mister. Where are you? Are you in UK or? Uh-oh.
We may have lost him.
So
I just
I'm on my way to Scotland.
Mm. And what are you doing in Scotland?
I'm playing a 2-day golf tournament.
Nice.
Yeah. So
I
I can't
just
wait to go and play this beautiful golf course. But go on, sorry, Eric.
No. Which golf course are you going to?
I'm going to Kilmarnock golf course, and then I'm playing Dundonald Links.
Okay. Are those one of Donald Trump's golf courses?
No, I did actually have the pleasure this year of playing Donald Trump. Trump International. Trump Aberdeen. And as much as some people may not like, of course. I think I lost
Peter, I guess we're losing you. Yeah, it's a bit difficult to follow.
Okay. Let me switch my camera off and see if that helps. Apologize for driving, but I wanted to.
It's good to see. It's good to hear your voice, brother. It's all good. I just wanted to also share, Mr. Mart, that I love the fact of you're such an active listener that you're allowing the wisdom to consistently spiral around you. It's nice to observe. I can really see it. You're always so curious, and you have powerful thoughts in the way that you're able to communicate them out. So thank you for being you, my friend.
Thank you.
It's refreshing to see so many profound thinkers and leaders that are always coming into this room that are willing to share with such expression and also to listen with such activity, where I imagine in the past, I know for me that it was about everybody needing, it's like everyone needing to speak versus actually listening. And I love the fact that so many of us are active in our ability to communicate.
I think that is part of the new, how do you say, when you say the new type of leadership, new type of word that we want to create, that is part of it, you know, like how it needs to be. You know, not just one person talking everyone out to do as they're told, you know, and fit in a box in that way. And just have everybody being heard, felt heard, and recognize that each one of us have value in the group. And I think that's when you're looking at new world leadership, new type of leadership, you know, breaking the old structures, that's a huge part of it, because it will reflect in families, it will reflect in corporations, it will reflect in friendships or networking groups. So it will reflect across, as we call our systems, right? So our different systems, you know, if it's a family system, if it's a work system, whatever it is, through breaking the dynamics and making it more what should it be in the first place, right? So yeah, it's good that you pointed out there.
Peter, how have
Well,
things been since we've seen you in the past?
Life has been amazing. It's had some challenges. I have closed the chapter on something. I closed the chapter on one part of my life to open a new chapter up, and it's super exciting to be entering this new chapter to see what develops from it. And it's a beautiful chapter. And I'll elaborate on that as well, so you can understand what I mean. Is on Saturday, I moved out of a property that I've got to be moving into a new property tomorrow with my wife, who you know is Ash. And it was a moment of understanding that it's okay to feel emotions when you're closing a chapter to open another one. And it was a big breakthrough for me to understand that why I was going through them emotions, I was not feeling great. And I was wondering why. And then I asked myself the questions the day after, and I was like, oh yeah, that's why. Because of the fact that I was closing that chapter. And it's exciting to open a new one.
I
Oh,
love the
thank you very
fact
much for the
I love the fact that you're so you can feel it in your energy, brother, that you're really opening up to something new. It's nice because it's like I don't even have to see your face to feel your energy and know that you're in this place of complete congruence in yourself. And what I love most, Peter, about you since I've met you is you're so freaking vulnerable. You are constantly in such a place of just openness and authenticity. And I love it so much because you're an open book. And this openness is what allows so much magic to consistently come through you. There's like zero fear in your expression. And I love it. I love it. I love it.
Thank you. I appreciate your beautiful, kind words. I really do. And my belief on that as well is, as a male, as a male, it's sometimes very challenging to understand. To be vulnerable is actually a beautiful emotion to create growth and understanding with yourself.
Amen.
And you know, for females, my belief is that it's a little bit more easy because they talk a lot more than males. But when we open up, and we really do open up and see what this feminine energy is all about, and I'm going to use that word because that's the belief I have, it actually brings more masculine energy out of you to be more of an actual masculine man. And that's some of the things that I've really tapped into in the last 12 months. So thank you, Eric. I appreciate your beautiful words.
It's my pleasure, brother. I think I believe that you are just like you kind of like talked about this openness of this other chapter, and then or in closing of one. It's like our journey is such a great book and story. And I feel the same way, you know, these types of chapters, they continue to evolve to the next level. And I believe that by sharing that with people that we care about, it's what makes it even more real. Like, how many times, you know, I achieve something and I keep it to myself. It's like, no, the first thing I really want to do is share it with the people that I love, right? And
Yeah.
there's so much beauty in that sharing, because you don't feel like you're doing it by yourself or alone, or we're moving as one, moving as a team. And I also love, like, you sent me that picture the other day of reaching the top of the lighthouse and then shining that light on the things that you want to do. And I really loved the way that you had described it, because really that's what I believe we're ultimately all here to do, is to really express ourselves without limits. We're artists of consciousness, of possibility. And by fearlessly walking the path of infinite possibility without allowing the external world's limitations to kind of suppress us or limit us or hold us back, we get curious about one another's map of the worlds, and from each other's map of the worlds, we actually find even more solutions. And then that's what I believe the feminine nature inside of us all has really cultivated, is that, hey, trust that part of you. You know, you don't need to be limited. You know, the direction of the masculine of following through on that intuition is what's so profoundly beautiful, where it brings us the harmony. However, knowing that that feminine force within you is really the one that connects you to your body, your spirit, your heart, is what allows us to then drive forward with that masculinity and expression with such grace and compassion.
Well said, definitely well said. That's a beautiful way to articulate what I was putting across as well. So, and
Yeah, you're like,
I want to follow up on something as well that you just made. Like I had a mini breakthrough then about something you just said, because I love to share. We all love to share the good things, and we all love to share the things that we're really proud of. But one of the things that I did share, and it really made a huge difference to the way I felt at that moment, is I shared my experience of closing that chapter and opening the chapter, and also acknowledging that my energy wasn't the same, to not only my wife, but I opened and shared it with other people that I really respect. So I sent a message to my wife saying, hey, I want to say, I'm sorry, I love you, please forgive me, thank you, because I know my energy wasn't great yesterday, and this is the reason why. This is the reason. I've done some self-coaching on myself, and I've asked myself some serious questions, and I only understand why the energy was different, and this is the reason why. And so my wife came back to me and said, you know, I didn't see it from that angle. I didn't see it from that angle of where you were coming from, when, you know, we get on with things all the time, and we do things very quick, and we're very proactive and very direct with a lot of things that actually I didn't look at it from that angle. So by me sharing the way I was, actually made us grow together as a team. And then I also shared it with a work colleague. Well, actually, a guy that works for me as well. And then he did the same. He grew from that as well. So it was great to see other people grow from what I was sharing as well. And you just, yeah, that's fucking awesome.
I imagine that that's what creates the resonance, right? Like, because we're all on the same path, and I think my perspective is that we attract what we are, whether we like it or not. So even the things that we don't like in other people, if we don't like them, then it's what we don't like in ourselves, but they're in our direct presence to help us learn something about ourselves. So when we give off the perspectives in which we choose to see, that the people around us are going to decide how they want to see it from their map of the world. Because really, ultimately, all of us are just expressing our own beliefs of ourselves, right? And then the communication happens because we're hearing the things that either resonate or they don't. And as a result, those vibrations is what brings us together. So it becomes this musical harmony, and people will choose to resonate based off of that frequency. Like, Tesla talks about, want to know the secrets of the universe, follow energy, frequency, and vibration. And as a result, you'll start to actually map around together in whichever way, shape, or form. Doesn't mean there's right and wrong. It's subjective. It's based off of opinion and map of the world. So it's like those things, like people are, the world is, I am, those global beliefs. And then from that anchor point, we'll start to actually come together or repel away. So my belief is, and my philosophy or my thought process or my expression is like, if we express ourselves with that level of congruency in whichever way, shape, form, and we attract our tribe or our community or our family or whichever based off of that level of congruency, the people around us, we're ultimately here alone, which is all one. And then as a result, the people that will hear us will actually hear us. They will see us, will hear us, will understand us. And the people that don't will go their way. And that's fine as well, right? But we're all the same. I know this is kind of deep, but this is what the way that I see it.
I was watching today about a podcast today. Is it I forgot the name now. But basically, the guy was saying how it's like about resonance. Usually it's a 2 hours long kind of interview, but one of the things you're saying is really that it's about resonance, and dopamine, things like this that make people together and act. So it's very interesting, very much in line with what you were saying, Eric, but maybe more from his perspective. He was speaking more like a scientific level, even, let's say, like that, but even at a scientific level, it was just what you said, right? And I found it very interesting how he was saying about, he's using this word resonance, and how we resonate with the others. And the thing is, we might resonate at the moment, then we change, and then our vibration doesn't resonate anymore, and we move on, and it goes changing. So I find it very interesting. But when you were speaking, what really just came to my mind, which I find very interesting, is we have, like, all the people that we have in the group, like people who wanted to be in the group, but not many joined the cause. And you know, and I was wondering, you know, what brings them to the group and staying, you know, and how can we feel like we resonating more? Like I don't know. It just for some reason when you were speaking, I thought, okay, well, you know, like okay, just about that. So, you know, when you talk about resonance. So.
And maybe it's not resonating more. Maybe it's just honoring their space, right? And so, you know, it's just like anything in life. There's a few people that play in the arena, and then there's lots that observe. So this curiosity of most people are observing in the arena. It's like you go to any Tony's event, right? There's the people that are on the floor, you know, fully engaged in the arena, and then there's those that are observing around the arena, right? And I believe there's a difference in the way that people choose to play the game in life also. And people are always curious. They're always interested. However, the ones that are actually fully committed and serious are the ones that are all in. There's nothing to do. There's nothing to say. It's just being. And that full beingness is what allows inspiration to come through the ones that are observing. And I believe that, you know, so many of us that are in the arena or playing, we start to play together and we start to show the possibility in co-creation, in co-elevation. And as a result, more people that are observing the arena, they choose to come down to the floor. They choose to come down and play. They choose to come down and get curious. They choose to come down and ask more questions because there's less fear of being judged because they're realizing that, hey, we're all playing together. And by playing together in the park or the lighthouse or whatever you want to call it, the arena, then you start seeing that, hey, you're actually just as valuable to the arena or to playing in the arena than you are as everyone else is playing in the arena. And you don't have to limit yourself to the perception of being a bystander. And I think for me, this was like a real breaking point is when you allow, when you welcome more people and you allow yourself to open up, you create safety for more people to come join. And, you know, that's what I'm really inspired about is creating that safety so that people can really just be themselves, because really, who cares what people think? Who cares?
Oh, that tickles me every time you say that because I just agree. I'm like, yep, tick on the box.
Well, this
We
also
should have
relates.
Peter, a dose of Peter every day. Just saying, you know, I feel like we need to have a dose of Peter every day. It's just contagious.
I will do my best to get into as many calls as possible. You know, and I want to acknowledge Eric for doing what he does, you know, for putting these calls on, to consistently making a plan that consistently grows people together, that he really does believe in everybody, and it doesn't matter where you come from, the color of your skin, who you are, male, female, whatever it is you choose to be. And I want to acknowledge that because I believe that, you know, the fear, and you use that word, Eric, is, you know, there's a lot of people in the group. My belief is that they're probably fearful to get on the end of the phone because they don't know how people in the group that it's okay to be
I can. Nope.
Peter, you speak like a machine.
And no one's going to
Love
go.
it.
Peter just talked about being in his.
Peter, your voice is cutting off.
I can hear you, but you may not be able to hear me, and I'm more than happy to listen.
Well, I wanted to make a sort of analogy or comparison about what was just said, because it also is very much the case for where my passion lies with TTRPGs, which is a role-playing game in which you're sitting together at a table to tell a story. And certain people like to be more in the actor seat and certain people like to be more in the observer seat. That's a preference they have to be normally, but that doesn't mean that someone that's usually an observer doesn't want to be an actor. It's just that for them to really act out, it needs to be a very safe space for them to feel as if when they say something or do something that it is heard. And it takes as much courage for someone that likes to be an observer to take the role and act out as it is for somebody that continuously acts out to become an observer. Because only doing one, you're only enjoying one side of the many things you can enjoy. Because if you're only acting out yourself, you're only enjoying from your experience. If you're only observing what others are doing, you're only seeing the enjoyment in that. If you're doing both, acting out and observing what others are doing, you can multiply the enjoyment from everybody that is participating and all those around you.
Beautifully said.
Wisdom.
I love
Beautifully
like
said.
Martin stays nice and quiet and then he comes in with these pearls. Yeah, I love it.
Well,
It's very nice.
only talk if you have something to say.
True.
That also led me to like from our calls in like from like the last week and watching some of the podcasts that Eric had also lately. That made me do a realization and made me make a decision about a particular aspect in life that I want to improve my knowledge base on, so I know more about it. Because it's something that I've been curious about, and I know some bits about, but I want to have a thorough understanding to say that I don't want to know more about it, or I want to know more about it.
And what's that?
For starters, it's having a more thorough understanding of Bitcoin is the first one.
Yeah.
Because it's more so about do I really want to understand it more, or do I just want to say I don't want to know more about it, I don't care. Either way, I'm happy. It's more about that knowing if it's something I wish to deepen myself in further, or say I know enough about it for now. I can let it rest. Let's focus more on something else, or where can I put my focus and energy to be most productive?
Yeah, keep us updated how it's going. What direction of Bitcoin you're gonna explore? Because there's so many.
Well, I asked Hugo a bit about advice to where to start, and I'm gonna do that first.
Hmm.
So maybe if you would like, because we'll be at Amsterdam at the Bitcoin conference, you're welcome to join us there, brother, since you're not that far. I would highly encourage you to be there while we're there. We're going to be there. I'm going to be there next week, but it starts on the 9th, I believe, in Amsterdam. So if you just Google Bitcoin Amsterdam, there's going to be a lot of community there, and it's going to be a really amazing time. And I'm going to be there in the front row as always. Being curious, the biggest kid. So that's going to be a really good time, and then afterwards, we'll have, amazing dinners and meeting with great people that may give you the insights and the direction in how you want to add even more of your beautiful wisdom. Yeah.
I'll see. It might be that I have certain obligations that for me are at like the highest ladder. That's like, nope, nope. It's it's the highest degree of obligation that I make myself. But if those aren't in the way, then I'll see what's possible.
Beautiful.
Is there Ronald coming as well, Eric, to Bitcoin Amsterdam?
I don't know. Good question.
He might be doing something. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll drop
fun
the
for him.
link in the group and invite everybody if anyone wants to join.
I know he has been very busy about organizing the trip to go to Jacob.
Nice.
It's probably gonna be within a month.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if more people want to come. It'll be nice to see. It's a great question, Sagitas. But yeah.
Can I go back just one few steps back on the
Yeah, of course.
conversation?
Please.
Just to what Peter was saying, right? Because obviously I think that really big now, this whole theme of around feminine, masculine, and the awareness around it, right? And I'm supposed to I am going to do a talk this month, and I'm supposed to talk about feminine wounds, right? But you cannot talk about feminine without talk about masculine, right? Because that's just not possible. And I've been like just going through what all the things I already learned, also speaking with some people, women, men, just to see the different perspectives around this, right? Because it's very easy for me as a woman, and from what the theories and everything I've learned, to have a point of view, but I've been discovering a very different point of view, like as well, like from the men's perspective. And just Peter, when you're saying about, I just, at which moment do you feel like you were able, so just to understand, like when you said like you were able to stop and then understand what you're feeling, but like before that, were you already able to do that, or what have you steps on to the point that took steps before to get to the point where you're now, right? That is a beautiful point, by the way. So it's just
Thank you very
just to
much.
understand.
Could you just repeat the question again in more detail?
It's more like, you know, okay, now it's very easy to talk to you now because you're able to stop and then realize your emotions, what are you going through, what are you feeling, and then why you're acting like this, and review and reflect and apologize to your spouse and everything else because you have such self-awareness, right? To that point. But then it's also you talk about the masculine, right? So, but indeed, it's, you know, a bit of the feminine that actually in you that is able to allow that. But you're only able to have the safety of being in the feminine and being vulnerable because your masculine is strong enough to allow that, right? So, my question is more like, you know, the kind of work, how did you get to the point you are now, you know, of this awareness, of this understanding, this healing point that you're able to have a strong masculine and to a point that you have safe enough to be in your feminine as well?
I think I could answer this in several different ways, to be brutally honest. The first one is, I'm going to use the words of Eric. I really don't give a fuck about what anybody thinks about me. And I use that word with the swear word in there because it may sound aggressive, but it's like to live in that feminine energy and understand your feminine energy as well. Some people may feel like that is a weakness, but actually I believe it is a strength.
Yep.
And for me, I went to a place where I wish no one to ever go to, and my objective is to share my story and inspire more people to live, to create this kind of thing that Eric is already doing, which is a safe space. But another answer to you is that understanding yourself as a human and understanding your space is your space creates an inner strength to understand that everything is all about our insides, our inside of ourselves. The outside world, I call it the muggle world or the matrix. I really don't care. Like, you know, it's not that I don't want to care about it. I just don't. I choose to not bring it into my life. And then from there, I started to understand about grace, and I started to understand about being grateful every day, even for the smallest of things. And me and Eric did a podcast together, and this is the truth, right? When I left that podcast, I was vibrating so high, it was insane. It was like my body was like, and I said that to Eric on the podcast, like my feet were burning inside. They were like, oh my God. So the reason I say there's so many different answers is because I believe that, you know, Tony, we're all in this environment right now because of Tony Robbins, right? And he always says that the six human needs and the top two human needs that no one ever taps into really is growth and contribution. I just started to tap into growth and contribution every single day, but I took it for me, I took it to my level. My level is contribution to myself, contribution and growth to myself. And then from that then seeps out of me, and then, you know, it's contributing to other people, it's contributing and giving back to other people, but also understanding that it's all about what we do for our inner self is the key factor of it. And that it's okay. I mean, if I'm truthful, I went to Date with Destiny, and if you've never been, then I would recommend anybody going to that program in person. And I went so open-minded. I cleared my own kind of schedule in my head, and I said, this is it. Like, I'm going so open that nothing is going to stop me. Like, there is no thought process in this. I'm just going to listen and observe. And this is the beautiful thing about it. I did exactly what Marty was saying there. I observed and I was the actor. I was doing both at the same time. And what I got from that was freaking insane. It was like, holy shit. Like, wow, this is mental. And then understanding again, vulnerability, yourself to be vulnerable. That this is the truth, right? If I am vulnerable with everybody, like Eric says, no one can say I'm lying. No one can say I'm a cunt. No one can say I'm a twat. No one can say anything because I'm so vulnerable and so open that everybody goes, "Oh my God, this guy's vulnerable." Like, should I try and take the piss out of it? And this is again the beautiful thing about it is what I've realized is that when people think that they can manipulate you and stuff, the masculine energy comes out so strong that they go, "Whoa, I better not try this because he's so vulnerable. I don't actually know where he's going to go with it." And it's a beautiful feeling. If you look at Eric and you've been around Eric and you've spent time with Eric, he's so vulnerable, but you don't know what to do because he's so vulnerable. And it's not that he's so secretive, it's because of the fact that when you become so vulnerable as a human being, no one actually knows what your reactions are going to be. And for me, I went to a place again where I just realized that there was a better place than taking a shitload of drugs and alcohol and all that stuff. And and you say about people becoming the real people. Well, normally, this is my belief and my hallucination is when people take alcohol, especially alcohol at the beginning, they are the people that they really want to be. They really want to be that fun-loving, vulnerable person, and that's why people end up opening up when they have a drink or they take drugs and they let the guard down because that's all that does is it just takes away anything else and it just makes you this vulnerable human being. And that's what my belief is. I hope that answered your question that you can use as well.
I just want to
Yeah,
add
more
that
than
I
that.
dropped.
Just gonna say.
I just want to add that I dropped our podcast with Peter, so you can watch it later because it's really profound. His wisdom and what he shares in there. I'm sorry, guys. I do have to go because I do have another meeting right now. But Peter, this was really profound. Thank you for sharing, brother. It's really nice to have you on here, man. I'm grateful for your time, bro, and your energy as always. And Mart, Tennessee, thank you so much for being here. Grateful for you both. Grateful for you all, and let's keep bringing the magic to life.
Cool. Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Tennessee.
And Peter, you more than answer because you have no idea. Actually, something just answer something so big inside me. You have no idea.
Well, thank you. I was
Because
going to
when you say about
quickly.
it was
If
one
you
of my
want to
resistance.
connect, if you want to connect outside of this, and then you want a conversation about it, I'm more than happy to do that as well. Just so you know.
Thank you. I might.
And maybe
Eric,
That is
I love
just
you.
amazing.
Marty, I love you.
love you guys. And maybe
Go on, Eric.
Tennessee, share in the group what your big breakthrough just was, because it'd be nice for everybody to feel that in the group.
Definitely.
Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm
Love you
Miss
all.
Vulnerability anyway, so there you go. Thanks.
There you go.